Hi guys, today we are going to be playing with a palette that I got in the mail, I want to say 2 days ago, and this is a palette that I've been so excited about. Menagerie sent me their newest palette, and this is the Sugar High palette. When I saw the sneak peek, I was like, oh my god, that is the cutest thing that I've ever seen. And this palette is so colorful, it's so summery and springy, and cute but fun and interesting at the same time. Like, I don't think I've seen a color story quite like this before. And like, you might kind of think it's a rainbow palette, but it's really not a rainbow palette at all. And I think that the combination between the shimmers and the mattes in this palette is very different. And I like that. And I'm excited to play with this. And some of these look so beautiful. Sadly though, this palette is out of stock, which I know a lot of you are upset when I make videos about palettes and products that are always out of stock. But here's the thing, like when you're supporting small indie brands and you either buy stuff from them or they send me something in advance, a lot of the time things are going to sell out very, very quickly. And I didn't get this palette before the launch. So, you know, I'm still excited about this. I still want to use this. I still want to show you because they do restock. The thing about Menagerie is that if you want to get your hands on their stuff, the best way to do that is to sign up for their email notifications. That way you'll be notified as soon as they restock. They tend to do like smaller restocks throughout the month, so they don't always do just like big announced restock. So just sign up for their email notifications for this palette if you're interested in it, because that way it'll be a lot easier for you to know when it's going to be back in stock. But anyway, I'm just really excited about this. I can't wait to play with this. And when I swatched this palette, it looks absolutely beautiful. And some of these shimmers, I am so excited. I think that my only, like, I keep looking at this and trying to come up with a look, and my only issue with this palette is I feel like since there are 3 quite like dark based shimmers, I wish that there was maybe one matte that was just a little bit darker, but that is just a personal preference thing. I can definitely make this work and get something really cool out of it. And honestly, I might just pull in a black because everybody has a black in their collection, and that doesn't mean that I can't try out this palette properly even if I bring in something else. So we'll just kind of see what happens. I just want to play with this. Sadly, I only have time to do one look because when I'm filming this, we're literally leaving the next day to go to Norway to visit my family, and I'm so excited. I haven't seen them in, God, over 2 years. It's been such a long time, so I'm not gonna have time to film more with this, but I still wanted to just make sure that I do get some footage of this before I leave. I don't know when this video is going up. Traveling is going to be kind of tiring, and I said before, I really don't want to be doing a lot of work while I'm there because I just want to have a good time with my family. I don't want to worry about videos having to go up. I didn't want to have to worry about pre-filming beforehand because then I would just feel really stressed while I was there too, feeling like I had to respond to comments and just like being present all the time on social media, and I don't want to do that. I just want to go, I just want to have a good time. I'll worry about content when I get home. You will probably get 1 or 2 videos while I'm gone, but it's not gonna be a ton, and I'm just not gonna stress about it. And if there's no videos, there's no videos. I'm sorry, like I said, I don't know when this video is going up, but you'll get to see it eventually. I might even be back for my trip by the time you see this. Who knows? But let's go ahead and put this on the eye. So I am honestly, this might come as a surprise, but I really want to use this red shimmer because it looks so pretty. I also want to really use this orange shimmer. So I think because of that, I'm going to use these 2 shades in my crease, maybe a little bit of this one, probably just these 2 though. And then we'll see what I end up doing in my inner corner. I might do like a pop of pink or something. But I really just want that red shimmer to be like the star of the show because you don't see a lot of like very metallic red shimmers, and I just want to see how metallic and how red this really is because when I swatched it, it looked beautiful. So I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna start with the darkest shade first because I just want to make sure that I get this as dark as possible since it is the darkest shade in the palette, and I just want to get this really, really intense. This is the shade called Furry Friend, which is such a cute name. I'm just gonna start packing that in the outer corner of my eye here, and then probably take it through my crease, I would say about halfway or so, and then we'll go in with the orange and sort of blend these 2 together afterwards. But I'm so excited about this palette. I just think that it's such a fun spring and summery palette. I really like the color story of it, and I'm excited to see what kind of looks I can get out of this. But that is super nice and pigmented, and it's going on very, very smoothly. I'm gonna take this under my eye as well, probably just like the outer half or so. Just make sure that I connect that in the outer corner of my eye. I don't know yet if I wanna really blend this out too much with the orange or if I just want this color to be the main focus. I'll kind of just see what happens as I go along here, but I do want this to be a lot of the look because I think this is gonna look so nice with that red shade. I'm clearly winging it out a little bit and that wasn't even part of the plan, but I swear it just happens sometimes. But I really like how that went on the eye. That looks super nice. Just gonna wipe off my brush and we're gonna go into the orange shade here. This is the shade called Slice. This is such a beautiful, it almost looks neon in the pan orange, and I'm gonna put that in the front portion of my crease here. Just gonna tuck that right in here and then blend it into the kind of reddish shade on the outer portion here as well. This is probably the matte in the palette that I would say swatched the weakest. And I can tell on the eyes it's taken a little bit longer to build up than the first shade that I used, but that still looks beautiful. It just takes a couple more dips into the pan to get a nice and intense look out of that. But oh my god, that is so cute. I can't wait to put these shimmers on my eyes. I just think they're gonna look so foiled and so beautiful. So I think I'm just gonna leave that mostly like it is now. I don't think I would have really blended over the red shade. I kind of like the way that they are separated right now. I will say I feel like this palette is almost pressed a little bit harder than what I'm used to from Menagerie because I'm not getting a lot of kick up in the pan, and I'm just kind of noticing that now. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. It's just a difference in the formula, but I don't feel like they're performing any worse or any better because of it. It's just a different pressing, I guess. But this looks really nice. I am going to take a little bit of this shade. Let me just kind of find a small brush here that I can use with that. Let's use this one. Just gonna take the same shade here and I'm gonna put that just in the front portion of my lower lash line as well. And if any of you are like, Annette, what is that amazing lipstick that you're wearing? Let me tell you, because I bought a new lipstick during the Sephora sale and I got another one of the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I don't know what it is about these, but like, oh my god, do I love them. They are probably my favorite lipstick formula ever made. I think that they are just so beautiful. The colors are so freaking nice. Like, I feel like this is literally the color of my natural lips and I love that. Maybe just like a little bit darker than my natural lip color, but it's just perfect. This is in the shade Wedding Bells. I wasn't sure what it would look like on me, obviously, when I ordered it online, but like, I could not be happier. Like, this is such a perfect shade. And so far, all of the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks that I own, I love the colors of, I love the formulas, and it makes me want all of them, which sucks because they're so expensive. I think they're man, are they really $48? Am I misremembering this? I hope I am, but I think they're $48. Holy crap, that's so much money for a lipstick, but I gotta say, I almost think that they're worth it, which is insane. I am going to deepen this up because I don't feel like this is enough depth for what it is that I'm looking for. So let me go ahead and find, literally no one's surprised, I'm gonna use my Blend Bunny palette. And I'm just gonna take the black shade down in the corner here and I'm just gonna add a little bit of depth on the outer corner of my eye. Nothing too crazy, but I just want to have like a little bit extra just on the outer portion here, saying that I'm going in with like all the black in the world. But listen, with the black eyeshadow, I can't help myself. Like, you cannot stop me. I do what I want, okay? And I want depth in my eye looks, and so I'm gonna use the black. And I'm sure that you have a black in your collection as well if you would like to recreate this. And if not, you should probably go get a black eyeshadow because, listen, everybody needs a good black eyeshadow. And I just think that the red shade is going to blend a little bit better into this as well and just get a bit of a smoother blend, but like, ugh, I just love black eyeshadow. Okay, so that's all. I basically covered up all of that red. I'm not even sorry. I'm gonna put down some glitter primer. Let's see. Ah, I found it. I don't know why I can't for the life of me just put it in the same spot after I'm done with it, but that just never happens. Yay. I've always wondered what it's like to be organized, but I don't think I'll ever find out. I'm gonna just put that glitter primer all over my lid where I want the shimmers to go. I'm layering it over that black as well because I do want that red to sort of layer over the black because I just think that that's gonna look really nice. And then with the sticky side of my brush, I'm gonna go into the shade called Ruby, which is the, let's see, which side is that? That one, which is the beautiful red shade. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. I'm so excited. You really don't see red, wow. You don't see red eyeshadows nearly enough, I feel like, especially like super metallic shimmers. They're super hard to come by. And I don't know why it seems to be so hard to make like an intense red, but oh my god, I feel like Menagerie nailed it because this looks so good. When I love how that layers over that black as well. Ooh, I'm feeling like a flame right now and I'm living for it. I can't wait to put the orange on my eye too. So with the other side of my brush, I'm gonna go into the orange, which is called Pouch Protective. That is so cute. Okay, I'm just gonna put that on the rest of my lid basically, and I'm curious to see how this one's gonna look on the eyes. Ooh, that's really pretty. Ooh, and they're just going on so smoothly. Oh, I love that. Now, I will say I'm a little curious to compare some of the shades in this palette to the collab that I did with Menagerie, because I feel like some of these shimmers look a little bit similar. So maybe let's do this, because I do have my collab palette here. Sadly, this one is no longer in stock. This one launched last year around this time actually, and I just want to see. So let's start by swatching the greens together because they might be a little bit similar. I do feel like this one's a little bit lighter though. I'm gonna first swatch the green in the Serenity palette, which like I said was my palette, and then we're gonna do the one in the new palette. So the top one here is from the Serenity palette, and this one is from the Sugar Glider palette. Okay, so they're very different. Mine is definitely a lot darker, but let's do the blues. I'm gonna start with this one. This one is a multi-chrome though, so they're not gonna be exactly the same, but I do feel like maybe the depth of it is kind of similar. I'm gonna swatch that next to the shade down here, which is called Morpho, and we're just gonna see, because I'm just curious, you know, because I feel like the shimmer color stories in these two palettes are quite similar. Okay, so again, they're quite different. My palette has more of a tealish color to it, I would say, and it's a little bit lighter and brighter, whereas the other one has more of a black base to it. But let's do the oranges. So I'm gonna do the one in the Serenity palette first. This is the shade called Monarch, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna take the shade that we just used on the eyes. We're just gonna swatch them together. So this is from the Serenity palette and this is from the newest palette. So again, this one is a little bit, the newer one here that I have on my eyes is a little bit more like black based, it feels like. I do feel like it has a black base. I'm not exactly sure though, but it looks like a shadow that has a black base. And my shade is a little bit lighter and a little bit brighter again. So, I mean, kind of similar color story wise, not gonna lie, but they are completely different colors. So like if you wanted to pick up both, you're definitely not going to be getting dupes. So if that is something that you were curious about, now you know. And I would say the staining looks to be about the same. If you're familiar with Menagerie's eyeshadows, you know that they do tend to stain a little bit. So just something to keep in mind. If you don't like staining in your eyeshadows, maybe Menagerie is not a brand for you, but I can't speak for this palette yet because I don't know if these will stain or not. But just from like my arm and my experience trying to get them off my arm, they seem like they might stain a little bit, but just something to keep in mind. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off. I don't know if there's really anything else I want to do with this. I don't feel like there's necessarily an inner corner shade in this palette. I don't know if I want to use, I don't really want to use like an icy sort of white shade. I more want to find maybe an iridescent red or something like Red Giant from Terra Moons. I feel like that would really pull the look together. And then I'm going to do some liner and mascara, and I'll come back and I'll show you the look, and I will tell you sort of my first impression on this palette. Okay, and here's the final look. I feel like a fireball right now because this look is, not only does it look like fire, but it is fire. I love it. This looks so good. I just did some nude to my waterline, some liner, mascara, and that was it. I just kept the same lipstick because, like I said before, it's basically the same color as my lips. So I feel like everything is gonna look good with this lipstick, and I love this look. I really like this palette so far. I think it's super cute. Now, of course, I only used a couple of shades. I used, what, 3 shades, I want to say? I used, wait, 4 shades. 2, 3, 4. So I can't speak for the whole palette, obviously. But, I mean, knowing Menagerie, I'm sure that these are going to be great eyeshadows. They always make really good palettes. They have an amazing formula. And I'm just really happy to... Maybe I'll bring this on my trip. Is that going to be safe, though? I try to bring stuff that I wouldn't cry over if I lost it, if it broke in transit. And I think I would be really sad if this broke, but I also want to play more with it, so maybe I'll bring it in my bag. It's a long trip though. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it, but it's a beautiful palette and I'm super happy that I have it. Thank you, Menagerie, for sending it to me as always. Let me know if you guys picked it up. Let me know if you want me to do more looks with it when I get back from my trip, and I can probably do so. I don't feel like I'm too backed up right now. I feel like I was able to get through most of the things that have come in before my trip, so that's good. It just depends on what kind of comes in while I'm gone. Like, who knows? It could be a lot, it could be nothing at all. So yeah, let me know if you want to see more looks with that, and I might be able to do like a 2-look video or something like that, or maybe a short, I don't know, we'll see. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you want to see some more Menagerie content, of course I do have a playlist right here, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.